Yo, what's up? Episode 27 of the Meelypops series franchise. Here we go as we talk about the Prizm Monster as it's coming out in basketball next week. Looking forward to doing this one with you. Let's get it. Hello everybody. Welcome to Meelypops. We are part of the SlabStox Network. Thank you guys so much for getting us to episode 27 and commenting on our content and getting me jazzed up about sports cards, the hobby, everywhere we're at. It's just a lot of fun. If you don't know, my name is Jameel. I am the owner of the Meelypops Shop here in Gainesville, Florida, and we have a fun time with cards. I am a little exhausted. I just got back from a long trip, and there's no rest for the weary because in about, 5 days or so, we are going to have the release of Prizm Basketball 2021, the culmination of all basketball products. Everybody is looking, not just in general, to watch the product, get alone, rip it, break it, sell it, grade it, flip it, buy the retail wax, buy the hobby wax. It's going to be wild. So looking forward to this episode. Let's talk some more about it. Before we do, if you don't know, we have taken on a project here in the shop called the Card Shop Show. It's on YouTube. You can just, after you watch this video and all the other great SlabStox videos, go check out the Card Shop Show on YouTube. We are documenting the best that we can, just different things. Here's a little tease. We have episode 3 out. It's the second part of our Dallas Card Show. And here you go. Here's just a little bit of that episode. So go check that out if you get a chance. The Card Shop Show, that is episode number 3. We will have episode 4 coming out soon as well. Doing our best to get these episodes out. We just enjoy it. Meelypops.com is another place you can go check out for wax and all your other awesome needs when it comes to the hobby. All right, so let's get into this next Wednesday. Let me check the date on that. It is next week. March 31st. The end of March is going to signify the flag has been raised. Prizm Hobby Basketball will be released. Now, let me say this. This time in 2019, for 1920 product, it came out in November. So the masses have been dry for so long. So November of 19, December of 19, right in that time frame is when we had Prizm 1920 with Zion and Ja. So we are looking now at, 14, 15, 16 months later, being just dry of Prizm basketball, and now we have the release. It is here. It will be out in hobby shops on Wednesday. Breakers everywhere will be breaking it. I don't know when all the retail stuff hits. You know, that's kind of crazy with how it gets put in Targets and Walmarts. But it's going to be an awesome release. And I'm not going to break the product down this year. I have done a little research. I've looked at some of this stuff. Taken a look at some of the new parallels. I've enjoyed kind of seeing where Prizm has come. There's a lot, as you guys know. And retail will have its enjoyment as well as issues because there's going to be so many different versions of it. But I wanted to talk about how Prizm, and I titled this episode The Prizm Monster because it really does affect, I believe, just a lot of how the hobby kind of looks at the year for basketball cards. And I believe in one of the points I'll make today, how it crosses over into other sports. So we'll get into that. But let's kind of just talk about the Prizm Monster. So every year you have, hobby released, and Prizm basketball, I think 18, 19 probably was the first year. Maybe it was 17, 18, somewhere in between when people really started paying attention to Prizm, specifically the silver Prizms, the rookie Prizms. And 18, 19, I think, is when we saw the takeoff of it. Now, granted, we had such a strong class that year. Luka and Trey were incredible that rookie year, and as well as other guys in that class. But 18, 19, I remember selling those boxes for $250. Kind of went down at one point $180, and now those boxers I haven't even looked in the last 2 weeks, but I think they're like $6,000, $7,000. So 1920 comes out, Zion, Ja, the whole kit and caboodle with the hype around that. And I remember selling them for $400 a box, thinking at that time, man, it's going to be crazy to see this. 18-19 was a hot class. Now, we didn't see the spike yet, right? But 19-20, November of 19, and selling them at $400 a box in the shop. I remember people saying how crazy that was and how dumb it would be to even buy a box at that price. 19-20 now is, I think it's $4,000 a box, $3,500, somewhere in that range. And so we've seen this just giant increase in the card market. Prizm really dictates a lot of the prices specifically for the rookie card, right? We know that the Prizm rookie card is key, and so most people look at that as a quintessential rookie card. That is the Topps Chrome. If you're a big follower of basketball, football, or baseball, that is the Topps Chrome now when it comes to it. And the Silver Prizm is the refractor rookie card. A good way to kind of parallel this stuff. I like to kind of use the 2003 Chrome example, and I parallel it to the 18-19 Prizm with Luka Silvers and LeBron refractors. I think that kind of helps understand the parallels between the two. And then, of course, you have your parallels. Much less parallels in 03-04. But the wax prices is kind of the first point I want to talk about with this Prizm monster. So we see these increases in wax prices, and this year is going to be very interesting because this will be the first year that Prizm is going to release at a point where I think is probably right around where it probably will sell for. I don't know the exact number yet, but I think it's going to probably sell for about anywhere between $1,900 to $2,200 a box on release. And this is for the 2021 rookie class. Now, all of you know out there that Lamelo got hurt. It brought things down. These were probably going to sell about $24, $25, but it's definitely put a kink in the armor, I guess you could say. And Prizm is going to probably come out around that price. Who knows what Panini will sell it out for on Wednesday? Who knows what? I mean, they'll sell out immediately no matter what. But who knows? I can tell you from the hobby shop perspective, we don't get a lot of it. We didn't get a lot of it, just like many shops aren't. And there are way more mouths to feed in this world of distribution and manufacturing, so I get it. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. The wax prices are determined, initially, and then we kind of watch and see how much of it's open. Will they go down? Will they go up? It'll be a very interesting watch. So take a look at 2021 Prizm basketball. Because I feel like this year with the rookie class, outside of LaMelo, there's not really one guy with hype, right? Now, LaMelo had hype, and he kind of lived up to it. But all the other rookies are kind of in this kind of pot, right? Anthony Edwards has had some really unique moments. You talk about Wiseman, Halliburton, all these other guys. But I'm just interested to see, as we slowly get into this and we get through the season, where some of these rookie cards are going to go in the next 4 to 6 months. Now, Prizm, number one, is going to be expensive, the NBA brand. But what happens, and this is my second point, is Prizm, the monster that it is, NBA Prizm, will now take all prior products, Prizm Collegiate, NBA Hoops, Certified, all the things that have come out, Contenders Draft, all these things that have come prior to, and it's going to lower the value of those cards. And there's a reason why that, because one, it's a pro uniform, chrome-like, first chrome-like card. But number two, all those prior products are really pre-Prizm products. And that's kind of how I've always looked at Prizm, as all the stuff beforehand is a pre-Prizm product. And when Prizm comes out, then you start to see the drops in those products. So if you are somebody out there thinking, man, I really want to buy some 2021 product, prices are too expensive, wait till Prizm releases and go buy those other products. You'll be able to get them much more affordably. I think so. So we have all the Prizm products. I just realized you can't even see this shirt behind me. I just got this gray shirt. Anyways, so it's gray shirt hanging up behind me. All prior products to Prizm will decrease in value, right? You just got to know that, and you just got to pay attention to that. If you're grading cards and you have cards out at PSA or SGC or BGS or CSG or wherever you're grading with, and you're thinking about these products and you've sent stuff 2021 in prior to, it's really going to take a hit, my friend. You've wasted some money on that, because if you haven't sold it prior to NBA Prizm, I do believe you're going to lose quite a bit of margin on that. 25-30% I could see the drops in. So all prior products to Prizm will drop, and that's just kind of how it always is. Now, will Collegiate Prizm have a stake still? Yeah, people love the Collegiate Prizm because it's a cheap alternative to NBA Prizm. The value is just not there. And now, granted, it's going to be a fourth of the cost. They're about $500 a box for a 2021 draft Prizm. But you're just going to see that drop in price in the value on the secondary market, such as eBay and the places that you guys all buy from. So, something to think about with that. Third point with the Prizm Monster is the retail fiasco. So, I know in the next 3 weeks I'm going to have everybody and their mother calling me, hey, I got Prizm, want to buy? Hey, I got Prizm, want to buy? Hey, I got Prizm, want to buy? And we're going to probably see an initial dip because there's going to be so much of that. I pray for the people out who are stocking these shelves at Walmarts and Targets and places because I just know how crazy this is going to get. I do believe this is going to be the height. And when I say the height, I mean the pinnacle of stress when you're trying to get retail products. And I understand it. I get it because buying a blaster box, if you could get one for $25, man, that's awesome compared to me having to rebuy it from somebody and then sell it for $100 or whatever to make a 5 or 10% profit. I know it. I get it. I understand it. But just understand there is going to be a fiasco with getting retail. Be safe out there, people. Be kind to others. In also saying that, please be careful for you folks who may go find some of this stuff 2 and 3 weeks later after the fact because of the repack issues that we see. I have to be very mindful of that when I buy this stuff from people who come in because I do monitor for repack stuff. I've been burned before and I've seen it. So there is an element there with the retail fiasco. There's a lot of money in retail Prizm, and because it is a cheaper alternative that most people can afford, so it sells easier. So we'll just see. I mean, I'm excited to see people rip, but I'm also not as excited to see kind of the retail fiasco that is the Prizm Monster that it creates. All right, and then the fourth I sound like Kermit the Frog. The fourth point, which is kind of a different take on Prizm, and I want you guys to hear me out on this, is that I believe cross sports, according to other products, so for example, NFL Prizm, right? Soccer Prizm, baseball Prizm, which will be coming out soon, UFC Prizm, which was just announced by Panini, and I just got my pre-orders in for that and working with distributors. UFC Prizm, WNBA Prizm. I do think that we're going to see now the beginning of the Prizm Monster taking full effect with high box hobby prices. It's just inevitable, right? For basketball to be released, for it to be a $2,000 product, that release is the first time we are seeing basketball Prizm when it first comes out at that price. Now you could say the same thing about football Prizm this year, right? Being a $1,000, $1,100 box when it was released. Those boxes now are $1,400, $1,500. So does that mean 2021 Prizm is going to be $2,500, $2,800, in the next 3 to 4 months? Only time will tell. But I do believe we're starting to see the Prizm brand really reflect larger pricing across the hobby box domain. So keep that in mind as you go and you think about buying other Prizms as they come out. Maybe if you can pre-order Prizm now on these other brands, other sports. I think the Prizm Monster is what it is. It is no longer just a basketball thing. It is a football dominant product. It is a very heavy product in soccer. I do think you see an appeal now with baseball Prizm growing. I have no idea what UFC Prizm is going to do. I saw the checklist with Khabib autographs, McGregor, John Jones. You got a lot of people in that product. Their first silvers are going to be in that product. So it'll be very, very, very interesting to me to kind of see where we see the price of Prizm boxes in the next 4 to 8 months. So that is what is the Prizm Monster. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. It is the quintessential brand, is the hobby favorite. People come up with the term Prizm snobs. There's a reason for that, right? I mean, it is the rookie card product, and it does retain the most value when you hit on it. Now, the one thing I did not talk about, which I don't want to talk about a lot because I still don't know where we're going to be at, is the idea of grading. PSA announced just this past week the backlogs. I think they said something about 500,000 cards coming in per week, over these past couple months. Quote me, in the comments, check me on that if I'm wrong. That was kind of a hearsay I heard. But what is going to happen with the graded Prizm market? Are we going to see an influx of SGC and CSG, graded cards because Beckett and PSA are so behind and their prices are so expensive now for the base Prizm rookies? So it will be a very interesting watch when it comes to Prizm, the grading kind of fiasco that does happen over these next 6 to 12 weeks. I don't think people are going to be getting cards back in that time. So are people going to be grading Lamelo Prisms at express services at PSA and 2 days at Beckett? I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Be very interesting to see. I'm excited for the hobby because I think there's always things changing in it, and this time frame is very interesting with Prizm, with the release of it, with what's going on with grading, and kind of where the market is in general. So I'm excited to see it. Happy Prizm Wednesday to you. If I don't see you before then, thank you for watching Meelystox episode 27. Please subscribe to SlabStox and all the Meelystox things. Make sure to go check out the Card Shop Show episode 3 and check out episode 4 as it's coming down the line. Appreciate you guys. Have fun ripping with Prizm. Would love to hear you in the comments what you guys hit in Prizm when it does come out. And feel free to comment as you like. Love to respond.